Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission in Bayelsa State has assured political parties that its personnel are ready for a hitch-free March 18th State House of Assembly election. INEC Head of Voter Education and Publicity in Bayelsa, Wilfred Ifoga, gave the assurance in Yenagoa during the distribution of sensitive materials from the Office of the Central Bank of Nigeria from Yenagoa, the state capital, to the 8 council areas. Representatives of some political parties also inspected the sensitive materials before the distribution to the local government areas ahead of Saturday's assembly elections in Bayelsa.
All our materials from CBN would have been moved by tomorrow, which was Friday, but today we decided to move everything to the local government area that are on land. That's precisely Ogbea, Kolga, Keremo. Since we can access Keremo, their materials will go to their LGA, Yenagoa, Nembe, and I think the other local Sagbama. They are all going to their local government area. Why Southern Ijo and some of the wards in Brass will be leaving here very early tomorrow morning to the jetty for onward movement to the various racks.
INEC has done very noble. They are going on with all the constitutional and the electoral act process. For early inspections, I think it is very okay, and I think by this time their preparation is better than the last 25th elections.
One for Ikeremo is gone. Ikeremo is gone. Sagbama is gone. Yenagoa and Kolukma, Ogbea and whatever. So left from Southern Ijo, Brass and Nembe. So what is the interest? Why are we trying to say those 3 local governments should wait till tomorrow?
I'm quite satisfied with the process because it will give everybody the room to have on-the-spot assessment of the sensitive materials that are available. We will enjoin all our citizens and our voters to remain law-abiding, and we'll have a massive turnout of voters so that we can vote a mass candidates of our choice. We pray that we'll have one of the most peaceful elections in Nigeria.
All our materials from CBN would have been moved by tomorrow, which was Friday, but today we decided to move everything to the local government area that are on land. That's precisely Ogbea, Kolga, Keremo. Since we can access Keremo, their materials will go to their LGA, Yenagoa, Nembe, and I think the other local Sagbama. They are all going to their local government area. Why Southern Ijo?
Well, those were sound bites from the distribution of sensitive electoral materials in Bayelsa State. In the meantime, INEC has confirmed the award of a contract to the tune of 434 million naira for printing of some sensitive election materials to a company owned by Senator and governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State. That's Aisha Binani. The election management body explained that the contract award was a product of an open and transparent bidding process. Arise analyst Mr. Dayo Shobowale joins us now to examine whether this development can result into a conflict of interest situation and how that could affect the perception of a free, fair and credible election by the Commission. Good to have you on Newsday, Mr. Shobowale. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yes.
Let me state at the outset that it is a clear case of conflict of interest.
Oh, please go on then.
You get you now. Clear case of conflict of interest. And it puts a question mark on the 3 main virtues that people expect of INEC as an umpire in this election. Those are the virtues of integrity, trust, and transparency. How can a senator from a ruling party be printing security materials, voting materials for the umpire in the election? See, there are so many ways, so many concepts on ethics, you get me, and moral values that you can use to illustrate this point. The first is caveat emptor, via vivia. Festus Okoye of INEC, the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education, said they did the diligence on the matter. But they didn't know that this lady senator was, he's a director. It means the due diligence was not well done. Do you get me? In a case like this, the onus is on INEC to go out of his way, because you know, a senator now, from a major state like Adamawa State, and somebody is a governor-elect, must be very well known. She must be known, so one or two of the directors of INEC. It is not to say that if the company is the only competent one around, or maybe in terms of catchment area, it is the only one available in terms of skills to do that peculiar work. But that is not the case now. That is not the case. They say EU comes to equity, must come with clean hands. INEC has not done that on this occasion. That puts a question mark again on integrity of INEC, on its transparency, and then on the trust Nigerians have in it. But then, you've been talking about the technology before, but this is the human element. This is a search and detect, very easy something. And INEC has not done that. So I pity them, because the explanation they gave was not adequate. And since there have been elements of mistrust on the delivery of the technology that we have been using, this will compound it. So I tremble for them how they will face the integrity test, either now or even after the elections, because it is a violation of the principles of participation. Get me? You can't be a judge in your own case. You cannot be prosecutor and the judge. You cannot be competing on the political field and be producing the documents, security documents to be used to do it. How can you prove that you have not tampered with it? And see, in the stock exchange, that is what the sort of thing they call insider trading. You get to know that you have some knowledge before you go and buy shares, so you choose it to advantage. It's a clear case of insider trading. A governorship candidate having a contract to the tune of almost $500 million to print documents for the electoral body. It is unheard of. And I wonder how INEC is going to defend itself. I thought it has done, the due diligence is foolproof. But definitely, there's a clear case of conflict of interest, and if not abuse of office or misuse of information altogether.
Now, in their official statement, INEC has said, amongst many things they've said, however, Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed was not listed as one of the directors of Binani Printing Press Limited. Of course, that's after explaining that they went through all the company, Corporate Affairs Commission documents and so forth. However, at the end of the statement, they say the Commission will continue to carry out due diligence in its procurement activities. Now, this is coming off of the back of all that we saw in the election, and we know the mood in the nation and the attitude a lot of people have towards INEC at the moment is not positive. Here is my question. Is it really possible for one organization to be this inefficient? Is it possibly by destiny, or is it by design? Because it's starting to look like it's by design. What are your thoughts? Because I can't imagine that one organization with such learned people could make so many mistakes unintentionally.
You see, to talk of destiny, man is the architect of his own fortune and via misfortune, as the case may be in this one. I mean, this is a clear case of incompetence. Do you get me? I won't say they won't willfully try to be dishonest or to deceive the public, because it is a very glaring immoral issue that somebody competing will be printing security documents to be used for the, it's like you are storing exam papers in the hands of one of the students taking the exam. That is the analogy. I don't think it's a matter of destiny. I think it's a matter of
is it destiny or is it design?
Arrogant incompetence. Okay. That perhaps maybe they will not find out. And if they do find out, we'll explain it away. But you see, if they are not been in this sort of mess, they are over the technology being used, well, maybe they could get away with it. But now, I haven't seen this. What of the vendors who supplied the electronic gadgets we are using? Who knows? Maybe one of them is a governorship candidate. Or maybe a well-known legislator. Or somebody on the field tomorrow. Maybe this is just the tip of the iceberg. That is what INEC has exposed itself to. It's sort of public ridicule in terms of the very important virtues for which people should respect it: transparency, integrity, and diligence, and competence. So those have been thrown to the winds. So it is their funeral, how they cope with it. But then, where they see when elephants fight, it is
the grass that suffers. Well, Mr. Shobowale, what's happening now brings back to mind one of the allegations that was made by one of the parties, that was running for election, that their logo was not even on the ballot paper. So this is also being published the same day that the presidency is insisting that the elections were free and fair, and we have this information now coming to us about how this sensitive materials was entrusted in someone linked to the ruling party. So isn't this the presidency can no longer boast of a free, fair, and credible election, can it? And because when you have instances like that where a party couldn't even find its logo, you start to wonder, was this actually a mistake?
You can't preempt what the presidency can say, because the presidency has a duty to see that the political atmosphere is not heated unnecessarily, and that what it is in charge of, because the box stops on the table of the president, what is in charge of is well done. That is the duty of the president. As for the party whose logo was not listed, I think that party must hold itself accountable. There must have been holding meetings with INEC all these days. Where were they?
They're already taking it up in court.
But they've lost the election. If their logo is not, they can't contest.
That's what I'm saying, that they realize that on election day.
It must be a non-entity party, a non-important party. Yes. How can some people will almost kill INEC officials if they don't see their logo there? And they have been having meetings upon meetings. Please, if a party is that competent, can secure visibility for itself on the election day, then it is his funeral. Which is that's my new school issue that should not disturb the entire election. We have about 30 parties. Do you know that? And they are all listed there, and your logo is not there. At least they must have done some proofreading. They must have invited them one way or the other. So if they are not listed, I think don't let us disturb ourselves with that. Let them sort that out with INEC. But obviously, they have lost out in the election. Have they not lost out in the election? If they are not visible, who will vote for them? So that one is a dead issue, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we wonder where the hope is with INEC when, we start feeling like issues that they are meant to address are dead issues. But that's all the time we have for Mr. Dayo Shobowale. Thank you so much for your insight. Even though sometimes you bring fireworks, but we like you like that.
Thank you very much.